My name is Vern Helder. I am currently the District Court Magistrate for the 58th District Court. I grew up in West Michigan. I'm a lifelong resident of West Michigan. I grew up in the Wyoming-Granville area. I went to Calvin Christian High School. After graduating from Calvin, I went to Calvin College, where I received a Bachelor of Arts degree in Business Administration. After graduating from Calvin, I went to Detroit College of Law, which is now Michigan State University College of Law. And I graduated from there in 1986 with honors. I was in the top 26% of my class. After graduating from law school, I began my legal career with the Court of Appeals as a research attorney. After I was there for a short period of time, I joined a litigation firm in Grand Rapids. I was there for 18 years. As part of the practice, the litigation practice, it was a very busy firm, and I had the opportunity to travel all throughout basically the western half of Michigan and attend court hearings in many different types of cases, many different courts in front of many different judges. For the last 17 years, I've been the attorney magistrate with the county. I was hired by the district court judges to fulfill that role, and I think it's one of the best decisions I've ever made as far as my legal career is concerned. What makes me qualified to be the judge is that I've got experience both in front of the bench for 18 years as a practicing litigation attorney, and I also have experience on the bench. I've been on the bench for the last 17 years in Ottawa County. So I have presided over nearly 45,000 cases since becoming the attorney magistrate in Ottawa County. The district court handles about 50% civil cases and 50% criminal cases. I have experience in both civil law, significant experience in civil law, and I've had experience over the last 18 years with criminal law. So as the magistrate, some of my functions are exactly what a judge does. So I review search warrants and authorize them if there's enough evidence to approve the search warrant. I review and authorize criminal complaints. I find that there's probable cause to believe a crime was committed, and that if there is probable cause, then I issue the arrest warrant. And that's both in misdemeanor cases and in felony cases. All criminal cases start in the district court. As an attorney magistrate, I have my own courtroom. I preside over traffic ticket hearings, which are civil infractions, or municipal civil infractions, which are ordinance violations. I preside over all of the small claims cases in Ottawa County. In fact, last year I tried as the trier of fact, or as the magistrate. I presided over, I think, over 100 trials in 1 year. And I've been doing this for 17 years, so I've got significant experience on the bench, both in criminal and in civil matters. And incidentally, as magistrates, we have the honor of performing weddings, so I perform over 300 weddings a year. So I think it's important that a person that is elected as a judge has experience in all different areas of the law, which I think I have. I've handled most every kind of civil case that would come before the court, whether it's landlord-tenant, whether it's a civil case on contracts or any other dispute. And of course, I've handled a significant amount of criminal cases as well. Some of the top issues, of course, with the coronavirus, we've had to change the way that we do business, or do court, if you will. We were shut down for a while, and then we've implemented Zoom hearings, so we allow some of the hearings to be conducted via Zoom. And now we've opened up again, but we're limited on the amount of people that we can come into the courtroom. So the court system itself has significantly changed in the fact that we schedule things differently, and a lot of this falls on the clerks, and our clerks have been tremendous. We've got a great staff. So those are, that's one of the biggest things is how do we handle the courts, how do we handle court business with the kinds of things that are going on now as far as social distancing and limiting the amount of contact with people. And I think we're doing a very good job at that. We do a lot of video arraignments, and we do a lot of other hearings via Zoom or not physically in the courtroom, so virtual. Our district court has several alternative programs. One is sobriety court. One is mental health court, and then we also participate in connection with a couple other counties. I think it's Allegan and Van Buren County in the Veterans Court. So those are specialized court systems that address specific issues that people have. And without addressing those issues, the individuals go back into the same patterns, and they tend to violate the same laws and get into trouble over and over again. And so using those types of systems and programs, we try to alter a person's behavior. We try to alter the way that they look at things. We try to sometimes, for example, with the mental health court, we make sure they stay on their medications, because if they stay on their medications and they're held accountable through that process, they're less likely to come back and break the law again. So, we're trying to reduce the recidivism rate in court with those types of programs. I also am part of the Teen Court program, which is a City of Holland program. I'm the Teen Court coordinator. I've been there for several years. That program to me is very, very interesting, because it takes first-time offenders, and they're youthful offenders, so sometimes as young as 12 years up to 16 or so years of age. And for first offenses, we, if they're chosen, we allow them to participate in teen court. The way the teen court program works is we utilize the district court in Holland. We have a courtroom setting. We have a person who volunteers as a judge. That has been me in the past on some occasions, but we try to get another volunteer, because I'm the teen court coordinator, so I coordinate the whole program. And then we have the offender come into court. The offender, the youthful offender, has to admit what they did was wrong. They have to admit the violation. We're not there to prove them guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, which would be a criminal matter. They have to admit what they've done, and then they appear in front of a jury of other students from either Holland Christian, Holland High, and I think we're now using Calvary schools as well for the jurors. And so this really is a situation where the teen court participant is in front of a jury of his or her peers. And that group of students makes a determination as to the penalty that they think is appropriate for the youthful offender. Most of the time it's community service hours. Sometimes it's writing an essay. Sometimes it's sending an apology letter, and sometimes it's reimbursing if for example they stole or attempted to take a candy bar and a can of pop. It could be something as simple as that. They're then required to make restitution to the place. So those are those are some of the things that the teen court program does, and I think it's very effective, because youthful offenders, I think, expect an adult to come down on them or look at them and say, what you did is wrong, this is your punishment. But now they have their own peers saying and asking very good questions like, why did you do this? Did you have enough money in your pocket to buy the items? It gets the offender to think about what they've done, and maybe make them less likely to do something like that in the future. So I believe that every person that comes into court deserves their day in court. And so when someone comes in front of me, I make sure that I give them an ample opportunity to tell me about their situation, explain their case, and it goes back and forth. So, sometime the plaintiff will start, or the prosecuting attorney will start if it's a criminal case, and then the defendant has a chance to respond, and then it goes back to the plaintiff or prosecuting attorney again. I make sure that before I make a determination, I make sure that they have told me or addressed every issue that they think they have with the case. And then I make a decision based on, I apply the facts to the law. And I understand that no two cases is the same. So you have to apply the law fairly and equally depending on the type of situation that the person is in and what kind of case they have. I do not take my decisions lightly. I understand that my decisions can have an effect, a significant impact on someone's life. I also realize that most people are not bad people, but they're in a bad situation. And so I try to address that as well in the types of rulings that I make. I believe that over the last 17 years as the attorney magistrate, I've exhibited excellent judgment, fairness, and judicial temperament. I think clearly the better choice is based on my experience. I've had experience in nearly every type of case that comes before the court. I've been a practicing attorney for nearly 34 years. I have experience both in front of the bench, and of course I have experience on the bench as the attorney magistrate. I encourage them to go to my website and to look at my Facebook page. You can find out more information about me at those, through those avenues or through those venues. And I encourage them to look at both candidates, do your research, and then determine which one you think is the best qualified person for that position, and then vote accordingly. I encourage people to go out and vote.